Chicken on a stick.
Fucking bed.
That's a good enough spot to start.
Fuck.
Just in the middle,
Right.
middle of that conversation. So, welcome in everybody
Welcome.
to a new thing we're trying. Normal kind of podcasty thing. Where for the very first episode we have a special guest in the house.
Hey.
Who is this guy?
I don't know, some fat fuck from Boston.
How did he get in here?
This is lovingly D-Pad, as we all call him.
Yeah,
We
unfortunately.
call him Danny.
Danny.
Oh, I know you're gonna be watching this, so fuck you, J-Rad.
Alright, shout out J-Rad.
They're best friends.
Take that, Jared.
They love each other so much.
That's amazing.
Anyway.
Anyway, so we're just gonna do a new thing where instead of really kind of talking about a movie, deep diving into a movie, we're just gonna sort of shoot the shit and talk about random topics and things that we want to, and maybe every so often have a guest and pick their brain about movie-related things.
This is gonna get fucked.
He's already watched more movies in the last, 2 days than he probably has in a month since he's been here.
What was it y'all were watching earlier?
Which one?
We watched Dodgeball, and then
Uh-huh.
we watched fucking,
Swiss Army
Swiss
Man.
Army
I
Man.
thought that I heard you ask, have you ever seen Swiss Army Knife?
Yeah.
And I went, oh god.
Swiss Army Man.
I fucking...
That movie was fucking weird.
Yeah, but you also said
But
that
it's
about
not. But
Dick's
it's not
the
as weird
musical.
as Dick's. I was just about to go there. It wasn't as weird as Dick's the musical.
I would rather watch... Yeah, I would rather watch Swiss before Dicks again.
Well,
It's a weird sentence.
yeah, I was gonna say, you know, it's. Yeah, I'll leave it alone.
Anyway, so what's new with everyone? How's 2024 going?
Oh, I'm finally on a fucking vacation, if anyone can't tell. 'Cause I'm all the way in fucking Texas.
All the way in Texas.
Eating all of the perfect
All the-
Texas cuisine.
All the shit that I
Yeah.
can't eat up where I'm from.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm going everywhere where I can't go.
Yeah.
Because
What was one of them? Panda Express?
Panda Express,
Yeah, we don't have
Torchy's
those.
Tacos, Chick-fil-A,
yeah, we only got one Chick-fil-A near my house, so I don't get to have it that often.
you
Zala,
like- what did you
Zalat
like
Pizza, or however that's
better?
pronounced.
Torchy's or Chick-fil-A?
That's a weird thing
I know.
considering
That's
they're
a
two
hard
totally
thing to
different
ask.
things.
I know they're totally
because-
different, but
Because that fucking chicken sandwich at Chick-fil-A is really good, but
yeah.
I don't know. That shrimp taco at fucking Torchy's last night was really
Torchy's
good.
taco was pretty
That
good.
shrimp taco
Shout out
was-
Baja Taco or whatever the fuck it's called.
It was
So-
The Baja Shrimp or something?
Baja Shrimp,
Yeah,
and
something
then
like
the
that.
trailer park.
The trailer park was alright, but that fucking shrimp taco
You
was...
should have had. I saved my chicken taco and put it in the fridge, and then I ate it as a leftover today, early in the morning. And leftover value, amazing.
I don't know if you ever look at me, but there's no fucking thing as leftovers in my house.
Yeah.
There's no leftovers. First day here, I got the biggest fucking pizza I could get, and I dogged the whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. They got the medium-sized pizza, the split between the two of them, and
No,
it's still in the...
we got a large.
Yeah, they got a large. All right,
And it's
whatever.
we still have leftovers.
Yeah, and the leftovers are in the fucking fridge.
Yeah.
I got an extra large pizza, which fucking dwarfed theirs, and guess what? It's gone.
He ate it in one go.
Yeah, it fucking disappeared pretty
I
quick.
love leftover pizza.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, except you haven't been eating it.
Well, I
Yep.
had other leftover food.
You got
Neither have I,
about
so it's okay.
you got about. I'd say you got 24 hours left before I eat the pizza.
Do you see her trying to escape? She does that all the time.
Yeah, she's a little escape artist.
The cat.
The cat's trying to work the doorknob to the front door.
Hey,
Because
kitty,
her life is so miserable
it's
here.
not fucking great out there, okay?
It's fucking
You got it
stupid.
good in here.
She's like, nah, I'm
No,
gonna run away.
Like I said, you said she makes some noises at night. Bitches in heat, she wants to get plowed. That's how it works.
Yeah.
She's acting like how my cat was.
Although she's neutered, I think, so I don't know.
Doesn't matter, she wants to get plowed.
I don't know if they go through that.
Listen, they got feelings, alright?
I guess.
She hasn't been out in the streets in a while. You know, there's a corner that she probably used to work, and now she can't.
She's pretty far from that corner.
Yeah. Listen, cats can always find their way home.
Yep.
We moved down.
I'm so mad that you said that.
We moved down the street. We moved down the street. The cat would get out of the house, and we'd have to go find it at the old house because it would end up there, and I'd have to go down the street, fucking calling the cat, fucking put it in a carrier and take it home until she realized where her new home was.
That's pretty funny.
That is pretty funny.
But back on the topic of the foods that you're having while you're here, we still have In-N-Out to go.
Yeah.
We still have Whataburger to go. We still need to find a great barbecue place.
No.
I think barbecue's going to be the two of you on
It's
Thursday.
a fucking hole in the wall. That's what I need.
Yeah. It has
I
to be
need a dumpster hole in the wall
Yeah.
because that's where you find the best
Told
barbecue.
him, there's a place called Ruby's that's like a country store, and it's very famous for having very good barbecue.
And that's where I need to go.
So Thursday, that might be a lunch trip for the two of you. But you know that place?
Oh.
Is
Yeah.
it a bad story?
It's a story.
Yep, that means it's not a good story.
You can eat there and I will watch you.
Oh, Jesus.
Well,
Alright, so I'll get something small there and then we'll go somewhere else.
There we
But
go.
I need to eat at the trashy gas station.
Okay. It is really cute looking.
Yeah, but the trashier is usually the better
But,
barbecue.
yeah.
Because that's when you find the dude that just lives at the grill.
Yeah.
That's all he does, because he doesn't give a fuck what the outside looks
Yeah.
like. He doesn't care what the tables look like.
Yeah.
But I bet you go out back and I bet you that pit is fucking beautiful.
Lit. Yeah.
I bet it's beautiful.
I've never been. I don't know anything about it.
You don't?
Other than it exists and I've seen people on the internet talk about it.
That's okay.
It is what
That's
it
how
is.
I know of it.
We'll have an adventure.
In my area, all the good barbecue spots are in these fucking little fucking areas that you have to like go searching for.
Isn't that the same thing with like little dive bars? Like that's where you find the people that are like the friendliest and
There's a
I
shitload
guess.
of dive bars in my area,
I
and it's like
believe.
the best places to go. Because you get the real people, you don't get the fake ones that are like, I don't
Yeah.
know, trying to be fucking who they're not.
no one's ordering an espresso martini in those places.
Nah, I need
Espresso
people to chug beers and then smash the glasses over the head and get into a fight. That's what I need to watch.
I was in a dive bar once and a girl got like the actual physical bartender got into a yelling fight with a girl that was an actual patron and hurled a glass past me.
An actual patron?
Yeah, she was like a paying customer.
Where is this spa? Because that's where you need to go.
Right.
Oh, Rowlett. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
where you need to go.
It was terrifying. I was like, you can't do that.
Well,
Just hurled a glass.
You get scared easy, okay? So you're like a timid kitty. That's why Max is
That
the way
is
that
true.
he is. That's why Max he's being just like mommy.
Yep.
He was supposed to be a
No.
he was supposed
Was that
to be
you shaking?
Yeah, I'm not going nowhere.
He was supposed to be an emotional support pet and it didn't work out.
Oh. Will she be in the view of the camera? Who knows? The cat is here. Oh, there she is. You see her ear right there. There she is.
There she is. She likes you.
This has gone off the rails very quickly.
Yeah, where were we anyway?
Listen, anything with
Oh,
me goes
no.
off the rails. Have you not seen,
Oh,
any
right
type
on your
of-
lip balm.
Hey, get your asshole off my phone!
And your lip balm.
No, it's
The
lost.
the lip balm has a cover on it.
Oh,
It's not like it's wide open and now it's
Oh,
gonna be whatever flavor. Cat's ass flavor.
like that.
There you go.
Did that
Right.
on purpose.
More of the shit show the better.
So,
That's how things need to be.
so
Yep.
I mean,
no,
that's
fucked everything up.
as
She's
good of
gonna
a
go.
way to start things. But the main point of all this was to just chit chat about movies and whatever's going on in movie world life. Because that's what we do is movie stuff.
I know. Krim
You know,
over here has
you
been
know.
on a
Background.
fucking adventure watching movies this year already. Every time I turn around, he's watching something else.
Like
At
a
this-
crack addict.
Currently, I think I'm at 111 movies for the year.
Yeah, and we're just in February.
And it is the February 5th, so it's been 36 days. And I'm 111, maybe 112 movies in.
Yeah, so
I'm
you're
just-
on an average of at least 3 a day.
That's what I'm trying to do.
Yeah,
I'm just
we
excited.
watched 2.
I'm excited that I don't have to hear.
I did watch the canonical 25 Eon James Bond
Just
movies.
nonstop, over and over.
There's
and
a,
over.
it's
I know.
you have to specifically say those 25 movies because there are technically 2 other James Bond movies. One does star Sean Connery and one was from like the 60s.
Because he posts every movie that he's watching, so I'll get
Yeah.
I'll get a ding on my phone,
Mhm.
and I'll see that he's watching another movie. So I'm like,
Ba-
Jesus
ba-
Christ, here we
ba-
go.
ba- 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 You know, but now I can. There was maybe 1 or 2 of those movies that I'd never seen. I think I've seen them, a good majority of them at least. So it's good to finally like watch all of them and to be like, all right, Roger Moore sucks ass. George Lazenby's movie sucks ass. That's gonna upset some people probably.
Which one was your favorite out of all of them that you watched?
Daniel Craig?
Yeah, I think my number 1 is maybe Skyfall. It's either.
Skyfall was
I think
really
it might
good.
be Skyfall. I don't remember. My top 5, and this is in no particular order because I don't remember the exact order currently, but my top 5 are. Actually, you know what?
Obviously, Skyfall.
I think it's Skyfall, Casino Royale, GoldenEye, From Russia with Love, or maybe Dr. No. I think it's one of the Sean Connery movies, and then The Spy Who Loved Me, which is a Roger Moore movie. Which, even though I said Roger Moore sucks
The
ass,
Spy Who Loved Me.
The
was a
Spy
really
Who
good
Loves
one.
Me it's his second movie as James Bond, but it's easily probably his best one. I think it's the second one at least.
Which is the one that has the Jaws guy?
I think The Spy Who Loves Me, maybe? I don't remember.
Wait.
Moonraker's the second one. I just don't remember if it's The Spy.
I remember we rented that from Blockbuster.
I'm trying to remember.
I don't remember
which
if The
one it was,
Spy Who Loves Me or not.
I know that I came to a conclusion, which is
In
that
Moonraker, Jaws finds love in space and maybe or maybe doesn't die with his little nerdy, skinny, glasses wearing pigtail girlfriend.
too. Okay.
Which is adorable and good for Jaws, but also
Shouldn't be in a
just
fucking
a bad
movie.
movie.
I realized that I kept saying to
Okay, so here we go. Oh, actually, I lied. That's not my top 5. My
Oh,
top
Jesus.
5 is actually in the order I put them on Letterboxd, so you can go look at my full rankings. It is, yeah, I'm an idiot, so forget everything I said. But my top 5 James Bonds is Skyfall, GoldenEye, Casino Royale, No Time to Die, and then Goldfinger. So it's Pierce Brosnan
Goldfinger.
and Sean Connery in there with 3 Daniel Craig movies. I think you might disagree with No Time to Die being so high, but No Time to Die is probably the most unique James Bond movie because it's the only James Bond film where you actually get to say goodbye to James Bond as a character. It has definitive endings for multiple characters in that movie. Yes, the definitive endings for them is dying, but it's
But you
you get to say
ending
goodbye to
is.
Daniel Craig. There's no like just all of a sudden it's a new James Bond. He died, he's gone. You get to see that MI6 is an actual organization. They've replaced 007 with a new 007.
Yeah.
Felix Leiter, who Jeffrey Wright is maybe not in the movies enough, and the character of Felix Leiter is kind of weird in those movies. He seems like an equal at first in Casino Royale, and then later on he just kind of seems like a drunk, and it's sort of weird. But he gets an ending, so it's not like there's many leftover cliffhangers. Judi Dench got to have an ending in her films. So it's like a definitive actual ending, and while Rami Malek's bad guy is kind of silly and sort of dumb or whatever, it doesn't bother me.
Yeah, but you can't have so many serious bad guys anyway. You got.
Well, it's not like okay, so
there
he's
are
not.
some-
Here's the thing: he's not like super silly, and I love that the Daniel Craig, his movies, his 5 movies have an overarching storyline. Of he starts here, he deals with Lashif in Casino Royale, and then that leads to Mr. White and Vespa are all connected to an organization that has to do something with quantum in the next movie, and really that's actually And then the third move, Skyfall, introduces, it's kind of like this twist in that there's a old agent coming back sort of thing, but then all of it's connected through Spectre to be like, this is part of this organization that's led by Blofeld, who actually happens to be like kind of a step-brother sibling to you, which that part was silly. Spectre has many interesting concepts and fails to really do anything with most of them. Yeah. And then No Time to Die, I just feel like wraps everything up. Also, Ana de Armas, and she's in it for like 10 minutes, and she's awesome as this like American CIA agent who is like, this is my first time in the field, and just totally kicks ass. And it's like,
she was badass.
Why was she even in this movie? But it was great.
She was really great. She needed more screen time.
The movie's good. It's also very emotional. They do hit the emotional beats. And so, if you remove that one from the top 5, maybe it's not that high for everybody, but my one after Goldfinger is The Spy Who Loved Me.
Yeah.
And then, to piss people off, my next 2 after that are both of Timothy Dalton's movies. So...
Yeah, GoldenEye always holds a special place to me.
GoldenEye is just damn good.
It's just, it is what it is. That is like what it should be. That is what that's what James Bond should be. You know what I mean? And it was like...
It's nostalgic to me.
I just loved it.
I think I realized...
I'm going to be going on that fucking video game.
Right?
Jesus Christ.
I love the memories of, like, playing with my brother, like, just to the point that our parents had to be like, alright, finally turn it off. But I think for a long time...
The Spy Who Loved Me is where Jaws is introduced.
Okay.
Because in my review I said Jaws is an all-time bad guy.
I think that I came to the conclusion that I'm very nostalgic for Pierce Brosnan as being my 007, because that's like the first time that I could like watch it on my own. I was like, oh, I love him.
Yeah, well, same here. We're in the same age group, so
yeah. If you were to just say James Bond to me, in my brain, it would probably be Pierce Brosnan's look. But
also,
he was
the hottest one.
He only has one good movie.
He was the hottest.
Was he the hottest one?
Absolutely. I like Daniel Craig a lot, but I like Daniel Craig as James Bond.
I think you may be right. I think Pierce Brosnan might have been the most attractive one.
Yeah, Pierce Brosnan picking up all the women, you know what I mean, seeing more.
He was also like peak, like he was, I don't know what age it was that he was filming those movies, but he was like peak.
If I had to guess, I'd say probably in his late 30s to 40s. Because I don't think any of them were particularly young when they were doing it.
I think you're right. He was always kind of an older guy.
They're probably all around the same age, because that's probably what they were looking for when they were casting Bond, regardless.
Yeah.
They wanted somebody that wasn't too old, where it's like, oh, he can't pull
that
that shit off. But you
girls.
can't have it being too young, because then it's like, he doesn't have the charisma to carry himself to be that sneaky and, to be able to be the spy. You know what I mean? You kind of gotta go through some shit to get to that point.
I do admit that GoldenEye being my number 2 is probably a lot based on nostalgia, because it is the first one that I knew. It has one of the best cold openings, when he jumps off the dam. Mm-hmm. Just a great scene. It has one of my favorite secondary villains in Boris, who's hardly a villain, but just the pen clicking scene is always so tense, and I remember as a kid being like, oh my god, and Alan Cummings just being like, I am invincible!
He's so good. I wish he was in this stuff.
Xenia Onatopp is actually, the cast is pretty stacked in that movie, but
that was my favorite part.
She's
of the
good.
game.
Sean Bean is great as 006, who is like a turncoat, and it's a surprise that he's live. That movie is great, and then the rest of Pierce Brosnan's movies are not good. He easily probably has... Okay, it's hard to say he has the worst run when George Lazenby only has a single movie, and I think George Lazenby's movie is just really boring. It's like an hour and a half of super boring shit, and then 30 minutes of good action and fun shit happening. So that movie is my second least favorite movie, because it's just so damn boring. But Pierce Brosnan's second, third, and fourth movie are just bad. And Die Another Day, his last one, is the worst James Bond movie. It is so bad. Who cares if it's
Still
got
hot.
the scene of Halle Berry walking out of the water or whatever in a bathing suit? That movie is
Jacks.
terrible. Yeah, that movie is awful.
They made sure to put that in the promo. Every single time I saw a promo for that movie, it was her just walking out of the water.
Daniel
He's
Craig's
supposed to
walking
be
out of the water is better.
He's supposed to be the
Oh, yeah.
sex symbol. You know what I mean? Pierce Brosnan's supposed to be the sex symbol. James Bond's supposed to.
That movie is so bad. The crux of the movie is North Korea. This general's son from North Korea wants to
Use the sun as a weapon.
take over South Korea and make it into one Korea again. But in order to do that, his master plan is to turn himself and his second in command into white people. And then take over from there. And that's literally what they do. Or they try to do. The second guy just basically looks like an albino with stones in his face. But the first one is like, we have this actor. He could have probably just done the role perfectly fine. But instead, he becomes a white man.
What's the...
A white man? No!
What did they do about it? Nothing. Typical.
Yep. That's pretty much exactly. Also, Pierce Brosnan has hands down probably the worst villain of all in The World Is Not Enough. The bad guy is basically just a news reporter who wants to just be the #1 news outlet. And to do that, he wants to start a war. And it's just the dumbest fucking thing ever. And I know it's always trying to be like timely and on topic with whatever's going on in the 24-hour news cycle and whatever. But it's
going on now with the news cycles
it's
too.
so
it's like
stupid.
It could be a Bond plot coming right now. That movie could be fucking turning right now.
I have one last James Bond related question. Is Daniel Craig's Bond bisexual?
Why?
Which was the one that has Javier Bardem with the weird...
Oh, yeah,
blonde hair.
Skyfall. Yeah.
Remember when he
Yeah,
touches
yeah.
his knee?
He has the weird knee thing, and he makes a
Yeah.
comment of, like, wouldn't it be my first time or whatever.
Eh?
So, I mean, probably, I guess.
Well, when you're a spy, you got to get in any way you can.
I don't particularly care if he is or
I know,
isn't.
it doesn't
No, but
matter, I
I'm
just
just saying.
like
But I'm
the
saying
hot
when you're playing the spy game,
Yeah.
you know what I mean.
You gotta be...
If your way in is through the
Yeah.
guy over there is
Yeah,
the
yeah,
easier
yeah.
path. He's gonna go that way to get that one.
I'll suck your dick if you let me through that door.
Got these.
You got these
cheaters,
codes?
man.
Okay. He should have just done that. Why didn't he ever do that?
Well,
Bond has slept with many women for information throughout the years. Not once did he offer to blow somebody for the passcodes to the nuke.
he didn't like the blonde hair.
I guess.
Maybe he has a bad gag reflex.
I mean, honest, but
Stop.
Javier Bardem's
Nasty.
character though could unhinge his jaw because it was an implant. So you know
That's true.
what that mouth do though.
Stop. All right. New subject.
I mean, just saying.
I forgot about that.
It might be pretty gummy.
Stop. Stop.
At least it wasn't Jaws.
Well, at least it wasn't Jaws. Yeah, I feel bad for his little petite, nerdy lady that he hooks up with in the space station.
It's a whole nother term of
He can't do anything with his
Oh,
mouth.
Okay.
He'd bite the whole taco
Let's
off.
wrap it up.
100%.
So anyway.
So enough about James Bond.
Mm-hmm.
What have you been watching? Anything
Besides Buffy.
besides
Okay.
Buffy? Actually, no. You can talk about Buffy. You're on like season 4.
Mm-hmm.
That's nuts.
Yeah. I don't know what possessed me.
We did see the episode with Pedro Pascal in it the other day, and she
Yeah.
literally, I was not paying attention, and she paused and went, "Oh my god!"
Yeah, I slapped the
It's
shit out
Pedro.
of him.
You finally noticed that
Yeah.
he was in there?
Well, I mean,
obviously I didn't know at the time.
my
when I got
history
there,
of
obviously,
Buffy-
That was like one of his first roles.
Yeah.
yeah, my history of Buffy is like
So young.
seeing a handful of episodes here or there, and then maybe the last 2 seasons in full.
Yeah.
So in case you don't know,
So-
me and my best friend growing up, our thing was watching Buffy every week. This was back when you had to make sure that you were ready in front of the TV. You had done all your potty breaks.
Yeah, you tell all those Gen Zers. What's the new Gen?
Gives a fuck.
Gen Y?
Gen gone.
Gen G.
The ones who answer their phones like this.
Oh,
instead
yeah.
of like this. Those ones. These ones.
Anyway, I grew up loving Buffy. Watched every single episode. But I didn't remember it, and for some reason I got onto like a weird nostalgic kick, and I just wanted to like watch stuff from the 90s, and I started watching it, and I've been watching I've been watching it for 2 weeks.
I don't
You've
know,
already
probably,
blown
and
through
she's already
4
in
seasons.
four,
I'm on
season 4.
Season 4, and they're 45 minutes long, so I've really been.
Yeah, you've been
Cracking through it.
putting work.
But yeah, Pedro Pascal.
I mean, she's had, to be fair, she's had a lot of time when I'm like, all right, I gotta watch movie number 4 or number 3 today,
Yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah, see you later. I'm not watching.
And then I was gone for 2 days.
I'm surprised she didn't leave during Dick's the musical.
I'm a little bit surprised I didn't either.
I'm shocked that she stayed and watched the whole thing.
I'm pretty sure that I had like a wrist cramp from how much I was doing this.
I really wish we were recording
I
like
kind
the
of wish we were.
reactions because it was priceless.
That
That would have been
Actually-
a great TikTok.
Yeah.
That would have been a good
Yeah.
TikTok.
Maybe we
Yeah,
should
especially
start
at
doing
the
that.
end.
I do have an idea for something that involves like first time watches and reactions and stuff. So maybe I'll have to figure out a way to do that. And next time I show her something where I know she's gonna react that way, get some
Get it
I'm
ready.
not-
nice reaction.
I'm not a prude. I watch plenty of rated R things. It's just that
No,
sometimes.
that movie's fucked up. It's
It's
okay.
fucked
Even I'm
up.
looking at it going, what the fuck? How did we
And
get here?
it was my
what the
it
fuck
was
is
my
a
second
sewer boy?
it was
Jesus Christ.
It was my second time watching Dick's the Musical because I had just remembered, thanks to shout out the Holy Goofs for doing they are starting a thing where they're going to talk about what is releasing on streaming stuff. So they mentioned Dick's the Musical being on HBO or whatever it was on. And I was like, oh my god, I do want to watch it again. But specifically, I want to show it to you because I know you'll react that way.
I really just want to say one thing. We were reacting to the movie, me and Meg, because we were seeing it for the first time. This dude was sitting on the edge of the couch like a kid in a candy store, laughing his ass off, looking at the both of us, because he knew what was coming.
I
He
think
knew what was coming.
Wait, I would also like to say that you started that by saying, I'm just going to put on the first little bit of it.
Yeah.
And then we watched the whole thing.
And it was a train wreck. You have
Yeah, but
to
it's-
watch the train wreck.
it's also only like an hour and a half.
But you...
You were like watching a car accident happening.
Yes, and you can't just stop mid-accident. Like, you just have to watch the whole collision.
I will say, I think it
Until
is.
you get to the money shot at the end.
I'm pretty sure I said 3 times throughout that movie, I wish that I could peel the skin off of my body and die
I
inside.
think
You wish you could erase your memory.
Yes.
That's what you kept saying, too.
I think the movie is almost better on a second watch when you watch it with
'Cause you're a
people
monster.
who don't know what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what would be
If I was
you-
watching it with people that never seen it before and I knew it was coming,
You know what'll be
I
really
would
fun
be
to do?
dying laughing. Especially at the end. I would fucking
I already know
roll
what you're
on
gonna
the
say.
floor.
You
I already know what you're
know,
gonna say.
Saturday,
I already know what
if
you're
we
gonna
all
say.
happen to go back to someone's house and there happens to be like 5 or 6 people there who've never seen this movie before.
Me and Megan are going outside. We're out.
It was so fun.
No. You go outside.
Okay.
She suffers. Because I have to see it.
This is
It's
you know
art.
you know what
It's
it
art.
is? You know what it is?
The Sewer
It's-
Boys.
It's the Sewer Boys. This movie is like The Ring, where it's just gonna get. If I watched it, I'm gonna pass, and then each person, it's just gonna go down a line of people that are gonna be like, I wish I had never seen that, but now I gotta show it to someone else.
I just want to be
me up, and I'm taking everyone down with me.
I just want to be clear. I think it's a really good movie. It's very, very funny.
I just need to be clear. I laughed so hard at that movie. I'm not a fan of musicals because I'm like, come on, I don't need the fucking singing. But
I love musicals.
yeah, but not that
Not
one.
that one.
You definitely didn't love that one. But yeah, the looks on your face were fucking priceless.
Yes, they were.
Priceless. Because the looks on my face were priceless in the beginning because I'm like, what the fuck am I watching? It's like seeing the first 2 cars in the accident fucking start hitting, and then it's just
What is
like,
happening?
oh my god, how the fuck did that happen? And then just more, and then it just gets worse, and then here comes the fucking 18-wheeler and just smashes into the whole pile, and you're like, now it's on fire. Like, I gotta watch this.
It's a great movie. Highly recommend watching it. Now that it's streaming.
Streaming on Max.
At your own risk.
Very good. Watch it with your parents.
Oh God, please don't.
Look, if you watch Saltburn with your family, this is,
Who did?
you know, just as good, if not
Also,
even
don't
better.
watch that with your family. Based
Saltburn
off-
was also very good, but that's something
Which
separate. You haven't
one?
seen it yet.
I'm not gonna.
Oh yes, you are.
I'm not.
As soon as that is, actually, I think it might already be on Amazon. It might
Good
be
for
somewhere.
Amazon.
I might force you to watch it.
Good luck.
Don't threaten me. Yeah. Okay.
What are those gonna do?
Nothing.
We tried last night to tell Mr. Danny Boy about how I like to do a handshake with Patrick where I assert my dominance because you're supposed to turn your hand over, and that's how you do it. Okay, well, you're showing off now. That's what you're supposed to do, like in like a meeting or something when you're trying to be a big kid, and you turn your hand over theirs, and that's how you show
It's
like
the power move.
yeah.
And I told her if she fucking attempted to do the power move, I'd break her wrist. So what did she do? She tried to do the power move, and all I did was like flick my wrist, and she almost went fucking over. Like she
tap,
was
tap 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 tap.
like, I was like, oh Jesus Christ, I'd break her.
Yeah.
Last thing I need to do is put her in a wrist splint.
She is fragile.
Well, I was feeling really confident until then.
Uh-huh.
Well, that's because you were feeling confident because you were standing next to me in the murder mart. Right?
Yeah.
That's why. We walked in.
Yeah.
Yeah, we walked into a Walmart that she's afraid of, and she's like, I feel confident, like coming in through the door like this, because you know she's standing next to a fucking 350-pound dude that
Said
don't
I
take
feel
no one
tough.
shit. Yeah,
I feel tough.
yeah. You ain't picking no fucking fight.
No.
I was.
Yeah. We call it murder mark because people have been murdered there.
Yeah, but that's
A
fun.
person.
But it's
We don't
fun.
know.
That's true. We don't know if more than
More
one
than
have
one
that,
per-
but we know one.
But it's fun.
Yeah, I was walking like a little bit more puffed out.
It was pretty funny. It was pretty funny to see the confidence like
Yeah.
oozing out of her.
Yeah.
Because she knew that she just knew that I wasn't there to take anyone's shit. I just wanted to get in and get out and be done.
I just wanted to walk up to like a random mother with a baby and be like, what of it?
Okay.
What am I supposed to do? Hit the mother?
Yeah.
Like what the fuck?
Just cold. Bah.
A worker. Try something. No, that's what I thought. Let's
Yeah.
go.
Maybe you should take him to Stonebriar.
Jesus Christ.
She
That's
does. She has a quarrel with a booth at Stonebriar.
I do. We're going to that later.
It's a bit too late for that, but.
Yeah.
All right, let's actually like jump into some topics, and
Movies.
We're half an hour into this, and it's just kind of derailed into all sorts of things. But that's what you're gonna get here.
Yeah.
That's basically the point.
Yeah, but it's just like Dick's the musical. It was a fucking train wreck, and this is what's happened. But it's beautiful to watch.
Time to get to the
It's
sewer boys.
beautiful. Yeah, the sewer
I don't want
boys.
to talk about the Super Bowl.
What are you talking
Oh!
about? When he pulled the meat out of the statue's ass and fucking chewed it up and spit it in their face.
I don't like this.
That was my favorite part.
I don't like it.
Do you think one of the animals would be upset if I chewed up some meat and spit it in their face?
Not at all. They'd love it.
I think they would. They'd eat it.
Max would go running. The cat would definitely eat it.
Yeah, she would eat it.
The cat would definitely eat it. She
Yeah.
would go, what the fuck
I
did
think
you just
Max
to
would
me?"
do this.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then can be completely freaked out by
Yeah,
it. But
that's
the
true.
cat would probably be down for
Yeah.
it.
I won't do that, just to be clear, because I don't want anybody to be like, that's animal abuse.
It's not animal abuse. It's like a baby. It's like a mama bird feeding a baby bird. It's fine.
Regurgitating.
Yeah,
food
but
in
I
your
don't.
mouth.
The mama bird doesn't go. I think the mom just opens its mouth and lets them get it.
It's fast food.
It's fast food.
I had to finish laughing before I said the joke because I was like, this is a good one.
He's gonna give me PTSD.
All right, let's get into it.
All right. Break.
Okay.
What are we talking about?
Let's start off with
What if you got two cats and you made them?
guilty pleasure movie. What is a movie that you think a lot of people don't like, but you love?
Is there a difference between guilty pleasure movie or comfort movie?
There is definitely probably a difference, I would think. But maybe not. You can
I
say
have
a
lot of
comfort movie if
I have
you
a
want.
lot of comfort movies.
Yeah, but I feel like some of your comfort movies are like generally really loved movies.
Yeah.
Like some people probably don't like Titanic, but it's hard to not say that Titanic's a good movie.
I'd love to meet them.
There's people that don't like Titanic.
I'd love to meet.
I'm pretty
someone
sure
that
I
likes
know
Titanic.
people who don't really
When
care
I
for
had to sit
Titanic.
in that fucking movie theater and watch Titanic with my mother and my sisters, I wanted to shoot myself.
There you go.
Do you?
I saw it.
Oh yeah, the ticket.
You see these 4 eyes? I see everything.
That movie was amazing.
Just to be clear, Maggie was pointing out on our wall.
Oh, yeah.
She has a framed ticket stub of seeing Titanic.
for the first time.
No,
the first
okay, it's fine. The movie's fine. I went back and watched it again, but being a child, having your mother and all your sisters drag you to go watch
You
it,
got boobs.
She did get boobs.
You got boobs.
You got artsy
It
boobs
was
and sex in a car.
garbage to me back then. I'd rather be doing anything else but sitting in a movie with my mother and my sisters at that point in time in my life. Anywhere else. I'd rather be sitting in a fucking field doing nothing.
You didn't
Didn't
like
do
when the
it
ship
yet.
sank?
No, because they didn't show too many people like dying.
Oh,
it was
okay.
funny to watch the,
The
ping
propeller
pong ball.
guy. The propeller guy.
Well, no, the ping pong balls too of like people like pinging off the ship. That was great. That was fun to watch.
That's not nice.
I love disasters. I can't help it.
I will say this isn't a hot. Well, it might be a hot take. Actually, a lot of people might not know about this movie. Generally, TikTok audiences or whatever might not know this movie. But as much as Titanic is beloved, if you want a very good Titanic movie, like excellent Titanic movie, do yourself a favor and go watch
The other one.
Forgot A Night to Remember. Watch A Night to Remember, Criterion Collection. It is about the Titanic. It was filmed before they actually knew that the Titanic split in half, because when survivors were like, yeah, we saw it split in half, people were like, yeah, that didn't happen. Some reason they just thought they were delirious from being in the cold, but that movie is fantastic.
That's a really good movie.
So watch that one instead. It's black and white, it's old, but it's just amazing. It's way better than watching the sappy romance between Rose and Jack and the Don't Let Go.
It's not sappy.
I mean, it's kind of sappy.
There was more.
I don't like being outnumbered.
There was more room on that fucking door.
No, James Cameron actually tested that and found that it would not have been buoyant enough for two people. They went back and did like a whole thing about it.
You know what? They could have swapped out.
They could have taken turns.
They could have taken turns instead of letting
They
homeboy die
literally-
from fucking hypothermia.
They should have just got shit-faced like that one guy, and then their body
Yeah.
temperature would have stayed warm enough that they would have survived.
Yeah.
And he lived.
Just like.
And then went to do another sinking. What was the other one that he was on?
I don't know.
That dude shouldn't be on anything.
No.
I would never have stepped foot on a ship again.
After it being on the Titanic?
Yes.
If I survive the Titanic, there's no fucking
No.
way I'm going near the ocean. I'm moving to the middle of the country. I don't even want
Sahara
fucking
desert.
seawater. No, I need to survive.
The
But I don't want to
desert.
see the ocean.
They were coming to New York. They would have had to have gone.
I'm going inland of the United States, and I'm going to the dead set middle of America, and I don't want to see a fucking ocean.
You keep going to Missouri.
Fine by me. Then I will live out my life there.
Yeah.
But I will be nowhere near the water if I was to survive the fucking Titanic. No way.
He was a real gambler there.
Mm.
Boy, gamble with his life.
Anyway,
Lost.
I feel like all of my guilty pleasure movies are just like my comfort movies. Titanic.
Okay, well, name some.
Titanic, Glass, I love. Like the whole series.
Glass could probably be a guilty pleasure because I
Glass.
think a lot of people don't actually like it.
I love a lot of M. Night Shyamalan movies that I know you hate.
Yeah, but there's a lot of people out there that don't like a lot of...
I don't like, because I don't think his twists are all that inspired half the time.
All the Jurassic Park movies.
Now that is one. Fallen Kingdom is trash. Fallen Kingdom is a bad movie.
I watched that movie so many fucking times, and I cried every time.
Bad
You're
take.
a monster. I got an early screening to that movie,
Okay.
and you had to put all your stuff away. You weren't, because they thought you were gonna like record it, and then I went back and I watched it again and again and again. It's pretty sad.
It's a bad movie. Alright.
And-
Guilty
and
pleasures.
You said, you would give me crap about, watching car accidents live, and you watch that movie that many times over and over again. That
was a sad movie.
It's a bad movie.
It's a sad movie.
Well, it's kind of hard to say guilty pleasures, too, about movies for me. But I will say, a movie that I can watch over and over and over and over and over again, no matter what it's on.
The Departed.
See? You're fucking wrong.
The Town.
The Town's a fucking really good
That
movie.
is actually a really good movie.
You motherfucker. Listen, we're gonna go somewhere, we're gonna hurt some people, and I never want to hear from it again. Alright, whose car we taking? Like, literally,
Yeah.
that's just how it goes.
Yeah.
But, Tombstone.
Tombstone.
Tombstone is my favorite movie. I wore the shit out of that VHS tape.
Really?
To the point that my dad bought it for me 3 times.
Aww.
I wore out the tape. I would stop it, end, rewind, put the bitch right back in again, and start all over
I
again.
remember my parents having us watch that on the VHS. It's a good movie.
I walked in the house not even 2 weeks ago, and my father was watching it. It was on AMC. I said, and it was like 20 minutes in. It was 20 minutes in, and I walked home from work. Next thing you know, I'm watching the whole movie,
Aww.
and I'm like, and then I'm going word for word with it, and my father's just laughing. I'm like, yep,
Be
it's
your
still the
Huckleberry.
same as ever since. Yeah.
My dad watches that too.
I got into an argument with somebody online because he said, because they fucking said that, because everyone knows I like that movie, so one of my friends was talking about it, and I was like, I'm your Huckleberry, and he goes, and someone posted on there and goes, he doesn't say that. I'm like, motherfucker, don't you dare. I ended up Googling like the script, and I pulled it up, and I was like, look what it says right here. It says, I'm your Huckleberry.
Does he say, I'm your Huckleberry, or is it, I'll be your Huckleberry?
No, it's I'm your Huckleberry. When he gets up from the barber chair the first time, when he goes to challenge Ringo.
The scene I'm thinking of is when he steps out from the
trees. But
Yeah.
it all started with the barber shop when he goes,
Right.
I'm your Huckleberry, and then when he comes out to the woods, first thing he says he thinks it's Wyatt, and he starts saying, "Oh, I'm surprised you showed up." And he goes, "I'm your Huckleberry," and he goes, "My fight ain't with you, Doc. My fight ain't with you. My fight's with Wyatt." And he goes, "Oh no, we got a game of blood that we never finished." And
So, speaking of Tombstone, I'm going to have you watch a movie while you're here.
Oh.
And that is going to be, I actually watched this in January for the first time, but it's called My Darling Clementine. It's by John Ford, and it stars Henry Fonda, and it is about the OK Corral shootout.
Nice.
So it is about Henry Ford plays Wyatt Earp, his brothers are in there, Doc Holliday's in there. From my understanding, it is not incredibly accurate to what actually happened, but it is about him becoming sheriff, reluctantly becoming sheriff, and then dealing with the two brothers and father or whatever that leads up to the OK Corral shootout.
Yeah, Tombstone changed a lot of things.
This movie is considered by a lot of very famous directors as one of their favorite films of all time. Akira Kurosawa listed it as one of his top 100 favorite movies of all time. There are a couple other that when I was looking into it, I was like, holy shit, a lot of people love this movie, and I knew nothing about it other than I thought the cover looked cool. I like Westerns, Henry Fonda, John Ford. I was like, I'm going to buy it. And then I started watching it and go, holy shit, this is about what happened in Tombstone?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Because then,
So-
right around the same time, that Wyatt Earp movie came out with, who did that? That was that Kevin Costner? That did the Wyatt Earp movie? And then it was, yeah, there's a movie.
Was it?
It's actually called
No, I know
Wyatt
it's called
Earp.
Wyatt Earp. Is that Costner?
I believe it was. I
think you might
believe
be
it
right.
was. And it was like Dances with Wolves. It was 3 hours fucking long. And they went more historic of what happened with Wyatt. And Tombstone did kind of change it for more theatrical purposes.
Wyatt Earp cracks me up because it's very well known that his legend and fame mostly is because he would talk himself up to people later in life. That he'd be like, oh yeah, there was a shootout and I hunted down these guys and whatever. And it's like, all right, well, we do know that this stuff happened, but we're pretty sure that when he retold things, he really bolstered himself up to be like this badass
Wouldn't you?
gunslinger.
Wouldn't you?
Oh no, certainly.
Fuck that. Definitely.
But from what I've read online about him, everybody's like, yeah, his legend is mostly him being like, yeah, I was awesome.
The legend is always, it's not Wyatt. It's Doc.
Every time I hear
Yeah, Doc Holliday is cool.
For me, the legend is always Doc Holliday.
In My Darling Clementine, somebody, I think it's one of Wyatt's brothers, is shot, and they're like, we gotta take the bullet out. And they're like, all right, somebody get Doc. And I'm like, is anybody gonna tell him that he was a dentist and not an actual doctor? Like, not a gonna take a bullet out of your stomach doctor?
But he knows how to, he's good with
Extra.
pliers. He's good with pliers, and he's got a steady hand.
Every time I hear the name Wyatt Earp, I just always think about that scene from the Boondock Saints. Do you remember? Do you like that movie? Have you seen that movie?
Have you seen that movie? Have you seen that movie?
Did we not just have this fucking conversation about where I'm from?
Have you seen that movie about being in...
If I am from the North Shore near Boston, Massachusetts. Okay, for all of
He's
you
seen
people that don't
everything.
know. If I did not watch Boondock Saints growing up, I was a fucking asshole. Okay?
There was a firefight!
Anyone from my area, if we did not watch Boondock Saints, we were fucking losers. Okay? There was no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Why don't you make like a tree and get the fuck out of here? Alright?
I wanted to make sure.
Fuck.
He fucking goes crazy. He's like, fucking Wyatt Earp.
Listen, Boondock Saints.
It's a rite of passage for young Massachusetts men.
What do you need rope for? Oh, really? Oh, Rambo. Oh, get your fucking rope. Best part of the whole movie.
I'm so happy.
Breaking his balls about the rope. What do we need the rope for?
That poor
You don't
kid.
need the rope. Put it back. Oh, okay, Rambo. As he's fucking holding up the big ass knife. Oh, get your fucking rope.
That's
Be over with
hilarious.
it.
That is pretty fun.
Mark
And
almost
then they
went-
needed the rope because
And
they
then they
dropped
needed
through the
it,
fucking
and
duct
then-
and got hung up on the rope.
Mark for a short time almost wanted to get the tattoo of the prayer that they even
Oh, yeah.
the thing that they said at the beginning.
Yeah, but one's got to get one and the other one's got to
Yeah,
get
yeah,
the
yeah.
other for it to fucking work.
Yeah,
What are you going to do? Put one on each arm and go,
I think
like
there
a
were a lot
fucking
of guys
loser?
that had done that for sure.
And I would call them a fucking loser.
So I'm glad that you saw that movie.
I have like the special collector's edition, like steel books of that fucking movie. Like it's Boondock Saints is like I said, it's
I
a
think
fucking.
I've got the combo pack of the
Yeah.
both of them.
It's like the rite of passage in our area. It's like, okay, I'm from Boston. Okay, if I don't watch Boondock Saints, fucking the Departed,
Mm-hmm.
or the fucking Town,
Mm-hmm.
I'm an asshole. Like there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. None.
What about Good Will Hunting?
No, wait.
Good Will Hunting is so fucking good.
Before I
I
forget,
love that fucking movie.
when did the second one come out of the Boondock Saints? Was I?
Fucking
think
a
I was-
lifetime
I
later.
think I was in college.
Quite a
It
few
was a
years
fucking. It was a
Is that-
lifetime later.
A guy asked me out on a first date, and we were supposed to go to a restaurant, and then he was like, "Well, my roommates are out. Come over. We'll watch a movie, and I'll make some dinner." And came in, and I sat down, and he was like, "Okay, so I got this movie. It's gonna be
2009.
Yeah, like I said,
Okay.
it was a fucking lifetime.
So
later.
for once, you could have actually been in college.
I was in college.
No, I'm
Anyway,
just saying, you like to say shit, and then it's like, that was 2004. You were not in college.
I have a bad memory.
Well, 2004, I graduated high school.
Uh huh.
Yeah, he's
So,
old.
I
He
know.
graduated high school. I just started high school.
Oh, yeah. Anyway, on this first date, this guy was like, "Okay, I'll go ahead and put a movie in. It's really good. You're gonna like it. You've never heard of it." And it was Boondock Saints 2.
Yeah,
And I was
All
like-
Saints Day or
I
whatever
was
the
like-
fuck
All
they wanted
Saints
to
I
call
was
it.
like, even if you had it, listen. First of all, I already know about. I've already seen that movie. But why wouldn't you start with the first one? Why, if you have a collection of 1 and 2, why would you start with the second one?
And the second one is garbage compared to the first one.
I never saw that guy again.
I was gonna say, there's...
Not because of the movie. He was very off-putting.
I would have just said because of the movie and left it alone.
I know
Fuck
exactly
that.
what you want to say.
And no?
No.
Okay. I didn't think so. I would assume you didn't go back to that guy's room.
We were on a fucking leather couch. We probably got handed down by other college guys.
Okay.
So which means you needed a black light when you walked in
Yeah,
there.
that's what I was thinking.
Anyway.
Okay, so I think my guilty pleasure is going to be the only movie here where actually a lot of people are going to think that it's a trash movie.
Is it
And-
black and white?
No, and I understand why people think it's a bad movie, but I love it, and that is Only God Forgives by Nicholas Winding Refn and stars Ryan Gosling, where Ryan Gosling only says like one line of dialogue in the entire movie. He says, "Wanna fight?"
Have I seen that movie?
I only just want to laugh though, just for the simple fact though.
We had like really pretty very like common movies that would be a guilty pleasure.
What?
When did this come out?
2011 or something? I don't know.
This is too funny.
Why?
The guy that doesn't care about God when God forgives.
yeah.
Just
So
the fucking title alone is irony to me.
The
It's
movie,
hilarious.
the movie is also very heavy-handed that one of the characters is God, and he's a Japanese police detective who does not get hurt or shot or anything during these massive gunfights. And in order to forgive people, he pulls a samurai sword out of fucking nowhere and cuts their arms off
Nice.
as forgiveness.
That's pretty awesome.
So they just
I like
And
the God and
Ri-
dicks better.
Ryan Gosling's mother is essentially the devil, and they may or may not have an incestuous relationship, and he wants to fight God at one point. This is where you've probably seen the clips. It's like the lighting for it's a fucking awesome scene, and he's wearing like a white button down with a blue vest over, and he's kind of got short hair, and he just looks and goes, "Want to fight?" And then he fist fights God and doesn't land a single punch, and the guy just beats the shit out of him. It's very, very... I love it. I understand not a lot of people like it. It's very heavy-handed and basically on the nose about what symbolism and stuff it's trying to do. But I was so into it.
I do like
It's
the symbolism.
it's by the same guy who did Drive. So in the similar
Oh, I
vein
love
where
that
he
movie.
doesn't speak a lot in Drive,
Yeah.
it's just turned up a notch to
Okay.
like 11.
Okay.
I like
and
that
it-
movie.
Drive's
pretty good.
fantastic, but
Drive was
his
really
follow-up, Only God Forgives, a lot of people shit on and don't like, but I love it.
I've never seen it.
How many times have you seen it?
I don't know, 3 or 4 times probably. It's right here on the shelf. Yeah.
Ryan Gosling really can't do a lot wrong in my eyes. I feel like I've loved pretty much everything that I've seen him in.
I do not like Beyond the Pines,
I still
which
haven't
came
seen
out
it.
a little bit after that. Did
I've
not
heard that's
did
an
not
acquired
care for
taste.
it. It's got Bradley Cooper in it.
Yeah. Oh, is Bradley Cooper?
Dane DeHaan was in it. This was shortly after Chronicles came out, or Chronicle, whatever the hell it's called. And I just did. I was like, people were hyping it up, and I was like, nope, not for me. Didn't care for it.
I feel like I've read a lot of people say that like you either hate that movie or you love that movie.
think Only God Forgives is basically the same. Again, I understand
Which
having
came first?
Only God Forgives. I'm pretty sure. Having a main character who basically doesn't speak at all and is a lot of just kind of standing there and looking hot like Ryan Gosling does.
He's pretty good at that.
It's off-putting to not have dialogue or whatever.
Yeah.
Some people don't care for that, but I've also watched in the last year tons of silent films.
Yeah.
So,
I think you can tell more of a story by body language than
Yeah,
you
that
can
says
by
a lot.
talking.
That says a lot
There's-
on how good you can be as an
and
actor.
everybody else talks in the movie. He mostly just looks at people.
Well, just like what in Drive and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Everyone else was having a fucking conversation.
Yep.
Wasn't that also kind of the case with Baby Driver a little bit? He didn't talk a lot.
Baby Driver,
Yeah.
same thing too. Yeah, you don't really
It
talk.
got to a point, but for the most
You,
part,
and
I
it
mean,
was very short.
Mhm.
No, yeah, but he does have a lot of dialogue in the movie. in
Yeah, a
comparison.
lot for someone that shouldn't be talking,
Mhm.
but a lot of his dialogue is very
Yeah.
straight to the point.
it's very short and just trying to keep to himself and stay out of everyone's way.
Speaking of Baby Driver, Kevin Spacey. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay.
We don't need to go there.
What about his House of Cards falling down?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Okay. Do you have any hot takes about movies, like that you think a movie's good that people think is shitty, or that some movie that's really loved you think is bad? Or is that exactly what I just said? You know what I mean? A hot take about something. I might have just literally repeated exactly what I said.
No,
I
you went
do.
opposite.
Wait, people in general or just you?
No, people in I mean, I guess you could do me, but mostly people in general.
Well,
She's about to be like, I've had him watch these movies, and he didn't like them, but they're great. You know what she's going to say? Moulin Rouge.
Moulin Rouge is an amazing movie that has an amazing soundtrack, and I had a poster on my closet when I was a teenager. It's a
okay.
great movie.
You just hear those 2 points though right there.
Mhm.
Great soundtrack, and you have the poster. That's what you're supposed to have. And that movie was all talented singers.
Yes.
So of course the soundtrack's going to be
Yes.
great. 100% that soundtrack was going to be great.
I
As
also
far
never
as the
seen it.
story premise of the movie,
It's a classic.
garbage.
Classic.
Garbage.
Classic.
Fucking garbage.
Gorgeous.
You had
Baz
the wrong
Luhrmann.
G word. Garbage.
I didn't like that. Baz Luhrmann. Okay.
Lerman, I think. He said like Luram or something. Baz Luhrmann, isn't it?
It's Baz Luhrmann. I'm pretty sure.
I don't give a shit. You know what I call
I
him?
know.
Awful director.
Amazing director.
No.
Who also did another cinematic masterpiece, which is The Great Gatsby.
To be fair, I own that one.
And
Somewhere. It's right there. Somewhere.
you don't appreciate it for what it is. His storytelling is so great.
Oh, I'm sorry. His storytelling of The Great Gatsby, which is a novel, so his adaptation.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
It's
His
great.
adaptation of a
He's-
famous book.
I'm gonna lean it back.
The book is
Moulin
boring as
Rouge.
hell too.
Moulin Rouge introduced so many new people to older music at the time.
Older.
There were a lot of girls that did not know a Nine Inch Nails song until they watched Moulin Rouge.
Nine Inch Nails was
Mhm.
old when Moulin Rouge came
All right,
out.
For
and
a
there's,
girl
and there's
in
girls
middle
out
school,
there that
but-
don't know what the NFL is now, and now Taylor Swift is doing that.
Yay! Thank you. That's a good thing.
Wait, was that agreeing with her point?
No, but it's just for the point.
It
It's
was
just
a little bit,
it's
and I'm gonna
just
take it.
Listen, it's not agreeing to the point. It's just for the fact of they throw these things in here to, all right, okay, yeah, they'll listen to
Oh.
9 Inch Nails, but they're not gonna fucking go back and listen
No.
to more. No,
No.
so they're not gonna fucking appreciate what the band is.
No.
Then
Teenage
what the
girl-
fuck is the point?
But I was still like, oh, I really like this song. I don't know who that is. I'm gonna LimeWire and illegally download a song.
And give my computer AIDS.
Yep.
Like Jesus Christ.
I downloaded the song from Moulin Rouge that was like the original Nine Inch Nails one. I didn't care for
What
it.
9 Inch Nails was it? Closer? I wanna fuck you like an animal.
No, I don't like that one.
I wanna feel
All right,
you
stop,
from
stop,
the
stop, 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 stop,
inside.
stop, stop. Anyway,
You
Moulin Rouge.
get me closer
Stop.
to God.
Moulin Rouge is a really great movie. Baz Luhrmann is a great director. Great Gatsby is not a movie about nothing. It's a movie about something.
It's a movie about nothing.
It's not a movie about nothing.
What's it about?
Love. And
Unrequited love that he
Unrequited
dies
love.
for.
and
Sounds like nothing to me.
I can do this all night.
Yeah, I know you could.
Oh, this is good.
So wait,
Yeah.
was that a hot... Is that your hot take, that
That's my
Moulin
hot
Rouge
take.
is... I feel like people like Moulin Rouge. I think it's a hotter take for me to
No.
go, Moulin
Smart
Rouge is
people do.
bad.
No. See, a lot of people like Moulin Rouge, but then there are people who cannot stand it.
Ugh, you and
If I
Forever.
see that on the TV, I'm just like, oh, I gotta fucking listen to this again.
I would turn it off.
I'm gonna start playing it on a loop upstairs. To where
I'll
it
just be
exits.
there for Christina and Burlesque. That's about it. You know, singing a music video, watching that song. All right, I'll get that. Yeah.
Do that shack wow.
They performed that at their Grammys. That was a great performance.
Lady Marmalade, is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Marmalade.
Whatever.
Mr. Pronounce things right. Baz Luhrmann.
Whatever.
Fun fact: when Moulin Rouge, or when that track came out, and it was like a big hype thing, I was having my spinal surgery, which ironically was also around the time of the Super Bowl, because we had the Super Bowl in my hospital room. On the way to the
Fun.
I'm
Who
waiting for the fun fact to happen.
What was that, 2001?
I don't know.
So
Still,
that would be the first.
Late
That would be the
90s?
first. That would be the first Super Bowl for the Patriots. Fuck
I don't remember who was playing. But I remember that okay. On the way to the operating room, they had already started to give me
2001, I was right.
Well, there you go.
Well, maybe
Patriots were in the Super
2002.
Bowl.
It's either 2001 or 2002.
But doesn't matter.
Depending
They
on
went
the
back-to-back
award.
Those, yeah. So Patriots
Depending
in
on
the
awards.
Super Bowl.
Well, as I was going to the operating room and they gave me the anesthesia and it was starting to kick in, the people in the surgery room, they were like, "Do you know the song Lady Marmalade? The one with Christina Aguilera and Pink?" And I was like, "I think so." And they're like, they started to sing it, and then I sang it until I passed out.
Why'd you only name the white women?
There were many people there.
You gotta
There was
remember
like
Little
4.
Kim. Little Kim.
Oh yeah, I thought you meant in the operating room. Like, I'm sure there were people of other ethnicities that were nurses.
Well.
Lil' Kim also, yes. Lil' Kim, Pink,
Queen Bee.
Queen, yeah. Anyway.
Amazing.
Good times.
That was your hot take, is that Moulin Rouge is good?
Great.
I don't know if that's a hot take, but I guess we'll accept it. What's your hot take?
Well, she kind of stole my fucking thunder because I wanted to talk about Boondock Saints, who's the wonderful fucking movie.
I don't know if that's a hot take either.
No, because a lot of people look at that movie as like, oh, it's just fucking Boston. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people. It wasn't a big production movie either. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
it wasn't.
it was very small. It was very shitty, but it was so great. And you know, come on, Norman Reedus wasn't who he is now.
No.
You know what I mean? Like he was nothing.
Yeah.
He
You
was
know what I
so
mean?
young.
The
How-
biggest
How old was he when he did that? I wonder.
young. Considering the
Early
fact that
20s?
Very young.
considering the fact that movie came out. Fuck.
I'm gonna guess
Mid-90s?
I was gonna say mid '90s. It's definitely mid '90s when that movie came out.
20.
It might be
I
like
want to vote.
97
I
or
want to
something.
vote like I was gonna say 95, 96. But I've also been known to be off because I thought 95, 96 was when Tombstone came out, and it was 93, 94.
How old?
1999. So we were all wrong.
Yeah, so yeah, I was off. I'm used to that.
Yeah.
But I was in 7th grade when that movie came out, so imagine going to school the next day and it's just telling everyone to fuck, make like a tree and get the fuck out of here.
Mm-hmm.
Or, you know, When he kills the fucking cat.
I was gonna say, I hate that part. He kills a cat and it was so unnecessary.
It was an accident.
I know, but still.
Tell me his name. Your precious what? Your precious what?
I put my hand over my mouth when that happened.
I've got to think of what would piss people off the most as a hot take of mine.
Do you want to break out the list? Because I'm sure you got a list.
I could keep it relatively recently and say I could go with a few things, which is Oppenheimer is not the best movie of last year, or Dune 1 was
30.
not that amazing. The Dune Part 1 was not that amazing. Although I do look forward to the second one because maybe it's going to be more like the last 15 minutes of the first one and actually interesting.
Well, it probably should be, considering the fact it's supposed to continue from where the first one ended. So you hope.
What else is there? Yeah, I don't know. I have plenty of hot takes, I'm sure. I just can't think of them off the top of my list. But Oppenheimer, certainly, it's not a perfect movie.
I did not like it.
It's not like a masterpiece or
There's
amazing.
no such thing as a perfect movie. Everyone can nitpick a flaw out of them all.
Back to the Future? Thank you.
No.
Everyone can
Everyone can nitpick anything from anything. Now, do
Oppenheimer's
I
just
disagree
boring.
with you about Back to the
Oppenheimer is
Future?
boring.
I love Back to the Future. Will I disagree with you? No. I love Tombstone. I think it's the best movie, and no one can say anything otherwise to me. But I know it's not the real fucking story. So it's like, you know what I mean? It's like, there's always something in everything that everyone can take from it and find a negative in it.
Nitpick.
Well, there's negative everywhere. So there's always a hater somewhere, and they will find you if they want to get their point across enough.
Yeah.
Like I was saying, I got an argument about fucking I'm your Huckleberry. You know what I mean? It's just like, I don't know what set me off, but it set me off that day.
What if I said Tom Holland is the best Spider-Man? Like Spider-Man and Peter Parker.
The combination.
Like both of them, period.
But so you're saying
He is better than both Tobey and Andrew Garfield all around, period.
I don't think he's a better Peter.
Actually, here's one that
Because it's different.
Here's one that might get people is what do you mean he's not a better? We'll get back to that. Speaking of Spider-Man with Tobey Maguire, Spider-Man 1 is better than Spider-Man 2.
I love Spider-Man 1.
Spider-Man 2, I feel like everybody basically hangs their hats on Alfred Molina's Doc Ock, and he's really good, but he's no Willem Dafoe Green Goblin.
Willem Dafoe Green Goblin was like iconic. Hence why
Way better.
Hence why he was the main villain when they decided to bring everyone together for No Way Home.
Yep.
Like
No Way Home is overrated.
But they turned Doc Ock back new, good right off the rip.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So they made him good right off the rip.
I love No Way Home.
And Willem Dafoe was like, hell yeah, I'm good.
And I'm just gonna keep riffing on Spider-Man.
I'm gonna kill your fucking aunt.
I think Far From Home might be the best Tom Holland Spider-Man. Because I think Jake Gyllenhaal's Mysterio
I do love that.
That was a nice twist.
That was really good.
is an amazing representation of Mysterio and makes way too damn much sense for how they did it. The Mysterio sequences when he's doing the drone shit to fuck with Spider-Man are some of the best Spider-Man scenes in anything. Period.
The way that they did the graphics alone is just absolutely mind-boggling.
Yeah. Mysterio was a good villain.
Mysterio was an amazing villain.
And
and he was also hot.
Jesus
Christ.
Yeah, Jake, what do you watch? Fucking Southpaw on fucking repeat?
How do you say his actual name? I saw it recently.
Yeah.
Jake Gyllenhaal.
Jake Gyllenhaal?
Yeah, that's how it's because it's like Norway or something.
Is it?
Yeah. You haven't seen that? The thing where they're like, here's how you actually say it. Like Denzel's like, it's not Denzel, it's Denzel. But I'm Denzel Jr., so my mom started calling me Denzel.
I'm just sad that it would never work out between us because he already has a sister named Maggie.
That's true. Yeah.
I don't know. That work.
Well, you can't though. That'd be betraying Taylor Swift, wouldn't it be? Yeah, you're welcome.
Ah.
I saved you.
You're in the universe. You're in the Taylorverse.
Yeah.
Not by
Okay.
choice, people.
Not by choice.
He is definitely not in it by choice.
Not by choice. I've just been on
Bounded
repeat
guts.
for months about
Yeah.
the same stuff. All right.
It's like Chinese water torture.
Very quickly, favorite movie from last year that you saw?
Barbie.
Barbie. Don't get. That's not the point. Isn't
I'm
it?
just. I was saying favorite. I know you guys have seen a lot of movies, and you took Barbie out of it. I just want to make sure.
I could have said Taylor Swift Eras Tour, but I didn't.
Honestly, that's where I thought you were going, considering the fact that you littered the room that I'm staying in Taylor Swift posters.
What? I didn't do that.
Well, there's 2 Barbie things up there. There's Taylor Swift over there. There's
There's an
it's
extra you
everywhere.
can take home.
Oh God.
Barbie was hands down my favorite movie at the theater.
I didn't see too many movies over the years.
It doesn't matter
Like
how many you
brand
saw.
new.
What was your favorite one?
I'm just trying to think of when I went to the movie theater to actually do it.
I feel like you saw a number of things.
Barbie was a revolution.
Yeah, but I mostly watch
revelation?
things like streaming at home. That's my
That's
whole thing.
fine.
Yeah.
So, alright, so the best thing that I watched in the last year, I would have to, it would be a TV series. But
It doesn't matter.
it'd be
Whatever
Reacher.
the favorite thing.
It would be Reacher, season
Reacher?
2.
Oh,
That just came out. It was so good.
Reacher.
yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't it like about Jack Reacher who
Oh,
Tom Cruise played?
No,
or-
Tom Cruise.
Uh,
Tom Cruise
no.
did play a version of Jack
Is
Reacher.
it John Krasinski?
No.
What
It,
happened?
no, that's Jack Ryan.
That's Jack
Oh.
Ryan.
Which that is really good as
Is
well.
it?
Yeah, that's based off the Tom Clancy novels.
Yeah.
Ah.
But Jack Reacher is also based off of novels too. But the good thing about it is they're not going in order of the novels, so they're picking different books and writing a season to each book. Now, this one I can't remember the actor's name, but he is.
Yeah, I don't know what his name is either.
If
He's
you
a big
see-
muscle.
If you see him, he's about 6'5", 6'6",
he's
Jesus
huge.
Christ.
280. He's a big boy.
Got it.
And that's how Reacher was in the books.
Really?
So people complained. Here's a hot take. People complained a lot about Tom Cruise being Jack Reacher because
He
of
was-
his stature.
I didn't
Because
even
he
know
was
that.
small and skinny.
I didn't know.
A lot of people complained about that because they could have picked any other actor, but
You went
they
with Tom.
picked Tom Cruise because they wanted it to sell.
They wanted the name.
They wanted, yeah, exactly.
Which
And
is smart.
Tom Cruise is this big compared to when in the books. If you read the books with Reacher, he's known of being this giant monstrosity of a man.
Well, joke's on you. I don't know how to read.
Well, joke's on you. Use your glasses.
Yeah.
Oh. What do you know?
So,
Is it still ongoing?
Yes.
season 2 just finished. This
What's it on?
just over the year. Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
And the Jack Ryan with John Krasinski is on Amazon
I've heard
Prime,
that that's
too.
really, really
And
good.
then
It
everybody
is.
knows my favorite movie was Anatomy of a Fall.
Yeah. That was a really good
Fantastic movie. Amazing movie.
movie. I'm still very mad about like how what you said they didn't nominate it for the Oscars for an international movie.
France. Let me take a moment here. France.
France!
What the fuck are you thinking?
That was a
The
really
only
good movie.
the only thing I can imagine that France was thinking when they, because you can put forward a single movie from your country,
Yeah.
and they put forward a movie that hasn't released out here yet. I think it releases sometime this month, maybe, called The Taste of Something or Other, and obviously that didn't get nominated. But Anatomy of a Fall, it has been like critically and commercially loved by everyone
Yeah.
for months. And the only reason I can imagine that they didn't put that one forward is because they assumed it was going to get nominations in other categories, which it did. It's nominated for Best Picture. Sandra Hüller is nominated as Best Actress.
Have
But
you seen it?
it's just wild to me to not just hedge your bets and put it in for Best International, because it's not going to win Best
It's not
Picture.
guaranteed.
It's not gonna win
Unfortunately,
Best
it's not going to
Picture.
win Best Picture.
It's
But you
not.
know what?
It could have won Best International.
Best
What won
International,
Best
its
International?
biggest competition is The Zone of Interest, which is nominated for Best International and Best Picture.
They
So
fucked up.
if you would have done that, then you'd have 2 movies that are nominated for both, so the likelihood one of those is going to win
Yeah.
international.
Yeah.
France, you probably could have taken home the award, because guess what? The Zone of Interest? Snooze.
Yeah.
Sandra Holler is in both of them, though, so good for her.
Good for her.
Well, there you go. There's a bright side on it. At least,
Yeah.
At least she was in both of those movies.
It's wild to me that they
It's
didn't
a
do
really,
that.
really good movie.
That
And
is
you
kind of crazy.
and Patrick doesn't watch a lot of movies twice. I think now we've got the Gross movie, and
I've watched No, I watched quite a few movies twice last
Did
year.
you?
And by quite a few, I mean probably like 10. Which, so from last year, I've watched Dix the Musical twice. I've watched Barbie twice. I watched Godzilla -1 twice.
I'm about to
Oh,
say
yeah,
what
that's
I remember
right,
Godzilla.
Anatomy of a Fall twice. Guardians twice. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles twice. Spider-Verse twice.
Paw Patrol.
That might be it. No, I watched Paw Patrol once.
I figured Chase was on the case, so you went for it twice.
Trying to think if there was any other movies released last year that I did watch twice. I don't think I watched Psycho twice last year
oh yeah.
because we did a podcast
Yeah.
episode of it, and then it was one of the movies in our
Halloween.
October Halloween thing.
Yeah.
So,
It's another guilty pleasure movie I can watch. I can watch it a million times over.
all right. So let's just get to we're running a little long here, I
Yeah.
guess, for probably what we're going to shoot for. But there was a lot of just kind of shooting the shit for a bit.
Yeah.
The main topic, the main thing I want to talk about, because just the other day I watched a movie called Swing Time, which stars Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers, very famous acting pair who did a lot of dancing and stuff. Fred Astaire, very famous for being probably the most skilled dancer actor combination guy out there.
Triple.
It has been announced, it's probably been about a year or so, maybe a little bit longer, that Tom Holland, who comes from a background of doing Billy Elliot on stage, so ballet and dancing
He's
and stuff,
Such a good actor.
that he is going to
dancer.
portray Fred Astaire in a movie about Fred's life.
I heard that.
Now, the question here isn't how do you feel about that, because apparently a lot of people aren't happy with the casting. I think as far as known people who will be draws to bring people into the theater, I think Tom Holland's probably the best person you could have cast for this, because
He's on a rocket ship right now.
one, he's young.
And he's classically
he
trained.
looks relatively young, so he can play the multiple stages of the guy's career. 2, he is a trained dancer, so I'm sure he can pull off the dancing scenes well enough. And 3, I think he's a good actor, but
Look what he did on Lip Sync fucking battle
Yes.
with doing Rihanna.
yeah.
I've watched that so many times.
However, the main point of discussion here is
I think that's when she fell in love with him.
after I watched Swing Time, I was looking up some information about Fred Astaire. I was curious if he had kids who continued on in the industry when he died, stuff like that. He died the same year she was born, so take that with maybe they share a kindred spirit or something. Weird thing to say.
Be funny
But-
if it was the day after.
What I learned is that throughout his life, there has never been a movie made that chronicles Fred's life in any sort of way. There's no movie about Ginger Rogers either, because her career was so entwined with his, and because there's no portrayal of Fred, there can't be a movie about Ginger either. That's how closely they worked together. So he has been quoted as telling people that he had no interest in any movie ever being made about his life. He had been approached by people for tons of money. He always turned it down because he does not want them to portray his life where they will almost certainly misinterpret things, and he doesn't want that. Supposedly, this has not been verified from what I could find, in his will, he also asked to never have a movie made about his life. But now they're making a movie about his life. To what degree should potentially the final wishes of a famous person, be honored in that, it's kind of a shitty move to actually make a movie about the guy if he did not want one made about him.
How long has he been going for?
36 years or something like that.
Okay. Alright. Did we want to see the Winnie the Pooh movie? When they made him scary and he fucking killed people? Are we going to see the Steamboat Willie one now that's going to be whatever? Because after so many years, unfortunately, you do not have control anymore about what anybody is going to do.
Okay, my one question would be if, because it's been 30 plus years since he died. He died in 1987. If a family member, saying sold the rights seems weird. I don't know if it's like, I guess sold the likeness or gave them permission to do it.
Unfortunately, he's a public figure.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Is I feel like you don't. I don't know if you exactly trademark your image or whatever, but or back then or something. But obviously, if you die, I assume at some point that would be up anyway. But if like his children or their children or whoever is like the surviving person that has like rights to this was like, yeah, go ahead. Then is it just like, then that was the will of the family, I guess.
Yeah, but Walt Disney never wanted all of his stuff out there, but after so long, you lose your permission.
I'm sure Marilyn Monroe would not have liked some of the
Blonde?
different. Well, yeah. I'm sure she wouldn't have been happy with a lot of the movies that were made about her and the different takes that people their artistic.
Yeah, they took liberties. They took liberties on people.
Yeah, she probably would have hated that.
Life.
The only thing I can kind of compare this to, or at least in my brain it compares, is the Bob Marley movie is about to come out next week, I believe, from when we're recording this. And I saw a commercial or an advertisement for it where Bob Marley's son was talking about, like, we've been working on a movie about my father for a long time, and now I'm like glad that it's this thing. Now that could always be like, they handed him $10,000 or something. He's like, fuck, I'll sell the shit out of this movie. Yeah. It sucks, but I'll pretend it's great to give me that money, or whatever. But if it was something where like a family member or somebody came out and was like, look, they approached us with this, we read the script or whatever for it, we feel like it does actually honor his legacy or something, then I think it might be less questioned. I'm still going to see it. I don't know enough about Fred Astaire's career or anything himself, but
I think I would like to respect his wishes in one way, but also I think about like maybe some younger people that don't know really anything about them, or they're not really big into reading or anything like that, could go and like experience his story.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think that opens up to educating youths about Fred Astaire and could actually bring eyes to his work. And now, also, just as a warning, if you decide to go watch Swing Time, there is like a 15-minute blackface scene where Fred Astaire's dancing around in full-on blackface. So the dancing's pretty dope. There's a cool scene where he's dancing with the shadows and stuff. But
you can't judge somebody on what was okay back then.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't okay.
No,
but
it wasn't
normal.
frowned upon as it is now.
Yeah. No,
you know what
I
I mean?
agree.
And it's like like a lot of people are getting punished over what they did that was appropriate. It might not have been appropriate, but it wasn't frowned upon back then when it was done.
Yeah.
It wasn't all.
It made it to a screen.
Yeah.
Look, Swing Time is almost 100 years old, so
yeah, exactly.
It's like 92 years old or something. Like that.
Exactly.
I think another thing to keep in mind with the idea of this movie is that Tom Holland is a really good guy, and he's a class act. If there was something about the movie that they were making that he thought was tacky, I feel like he'd say something.
To be honest, I don't think you know that Fred was like, I don't want movies about my
He's
life
a classically trained dancer. I think that he would probably know.
You think that's like a trade secret of dancers? Like, can you believe Fred Astaire never wanted people to make a movie about him?
Maybe.
You ready? You ready for the simple fact of you were able to find it with a phone in your hand? You don't think anybody else could have done that as well?
Okay, so that just brings up another question.
Where Tom is classic. Well, I'm saying where Tom is a classically trained dancer, don't you think he would have studied Fred's work
So
and probably admired the guy and probably wanted to know more about him. So as you start doing the research and you go down that rabbit hole, and it's like, boom, hey, here it fucking is.
that just brings up the question of how many people that portrayed a real person just read their Wikipedia page and went,
No,
okay.
no. That's not Tom.
You think Austin Butler read Elvis's wiki page and went, oh, okay, cool. And then he just made that voice and got stuck like that.
I think that's so funny that it's stuck like that.
I think
No,
I think
he's
that
got
Tom
a
Holland is
vocal
very-
coach to get out of it.
I trust Tom Holland. He's literally turned down lots of projects that he thought were tacky or not good for him. I think that he would work really, really hard to make sure that he does it justice. So
Yeah.
he wouldn't want to offend anybody
Right.
with this movie.
No,
So
I agree.
All right.
I think he'll do great.
Any final thoughts? I think we need to wrap it up here. We've been almost an hour and a half. I think that's long enough for first episode. Final thoughts? Anything you want to share?
I think in a past life, Max was a clam shucker.
All right. There you
What
go.
the fuck?
Those are the final thoughts. Goodbye.
What the fuck?